just have a reverence, special reverence for your eyesight and faith. Because for as long as your mind can see something, and you just have a question of how did they do it? Are they any special? Are they any different? Do they have blue blood? Principles, they make us all equal. Whether you're poor, whether you're blue, whether you're black, whether you're tall, principles. So the principle of sowing and reaping, that you will reap what you sow, it can never be changed. Not by anyone. Not by any religion, not by any prophet, not by any law in any country. The principle of sowing is if you put your effort, if you give it your best, if you sow, you will reap. So I believed in myself and I went sowing. Number 2, better decisions. After believing in yourself, remember when you believe in yourself, you feel you can achieve anything. You just feel like, you know what, I just need to figure out what it is I need to achieve. And I just want us to go through, what should I term them as? Getting unstuck. Because the moment you believe in yourself, that is when you ask yourself, am I supposed to be where I am? Or I'm supposed to be in a different place? If I'm supposed to be in a different place, what's keeping me where I am? And how do I get out of there? Because you want to build a brand. So that is where you ask yourself, what are the character traits that I need? Number 1, getting yourself unstuck. You have believed in yourself, yes, that is not enough to get you there. You need to make better decisions. But in order to make those better decisions, you need to know, what don't I have that I need? Is it the perseverance? Because when you believe in yourself, then you have to keep at it. You don't believe in yourself today and then tomorrow. That means you believe in yourself consistently. You commit. You get determined. So you ask yourself, do I have these character traits inside of me? Or I'm the kind, and some of you have even resigned, you're here to just do exams and just pass and then move on to the next thing. How many of us believe that? I know there are many. Some of you are not going to raise your hands. Some of you don't know the reason as to why you are here. I have ever been there. You don't. You're here, you're waiting on your boyfriend's call at around 6 so that he can take you out and the weekend will be massive. But guess what? There is someone who is thinking, I am going to build this brand, whether it wants it or not. So I am going to do my research. I am going to read. I am going to follow the right people online. I am going to listen to the right content. I am going to feed my faith and starve my fear. That is how I go on. So you ask yourself, what are those character traits that I need? I was the kind, I do something and it just doesn't happen, or it's not going my way, I curve back, or I crawl back into my shell. And then I learned that, by the way, I have to take the ego out of this equation. If I want to build a brand and an ego cannot dwell in the same statement. So I have to take my ego out. How dare they? How dare they? Everyone has the audacity. They can do anything that they want. They have brains. They think. So, because then when someone commented, and this era of social media, someone says something and you're like, maybe I should not go back. Or someone just doesn't like, by the way, we are petty as someone not liking your content. And then you just stop posting or even showing up. You do a live and you're like, guys, let's wait for people to come in. There's one who told me, one of my mentees, I have an accelerated mentorship program for coaches and consultants and writers. And so she told me, you know what, I opened up a live session on Instagram and no one turned up. And she had invited an expert to come and share her knowledge. So the expert was like, but you told me you have a company and you told me that you are, you are a brand, and you told me that, and she was like, you know what, just hold on. Let's keep talking. People will come in. And she said she prayed on that live session. She was like, God, please don't shame me. And before you know it, she says 30 minutes into the live session, that is when people actually started coming in. And so she came to me saying, I don't think these live things are for me. I was like, it's okay. If you think it's not for you, don't do it. No one is pushing you to do it. Because that is supposed to be a personal endeavor. You're supposed to love it. You're supposed to be passionate about it. So the character traits, I want you to check yourself. What don't you have that you need? And what do you have in small doses that you need to increase? If you need more patience, if you need more commitment, if you need more consistency, if you need more focus. Some of you don't have the focus. Some of you are here, but you're watching other videos on your phones. But you paid your money and you showed up. And you're like, but if I don't show up, they will say I'm not a serious psychologist. You're not here for anyone. You are here for you. Okay? You can't build a brand while you are focused on 1,000 things. You can't. So if it's a character trait of focus that you need, get the focus. If what you need is integrity, some of you are here sleeping with the Tom, Dick, and Harry. And then one day, you're going to appear to speak at a place, and you will find there are six people that you have slept with. So if you think that integrity is something that you need to borrow and put into your bag, please borrow it. Huh? So that is character trait. Just look for any character traits. If you decide to write character traits, you'll write like 100 of them or even 200 of them. Okay? I've just mentioned a few things. But the things that you need, if you don't have them, get them. If you have them in small doses, increase them. Number 2, competence. Some of us don't do the things that we are supposed to do because we just don't know how to do them. That is why we are here. So when we say that in order to build a brand, you need to be crystal clear about the person that you are serving. Guys, I am not going to go in order. I'm going to bring these things because I have a full package and I have limited time because I need to be out of here. So follow closely. Okay? Competence. So if you say that in order for you to build a brand, you need to be crystal clear about your client, about your customer. But for psychologists and social workers and counselors, that is an avatar. Because you want to build a brand. And a brand is not something that really just serves one person. Yes, you can serve one person, but a brand is quite bigger than you. It's like a legacy. A brand is something that long after you have left this place, or long after Mr. Chamagero has left this place, you're going to have an impression of who he was. Long after I leave this place, you're going to say, I met Bahati, and this is what Bahati says. This is who she represents. And some of you have already judged me. You've judged my weight, you've judged what I'm putting on, you've judged everything. You're judges who are self-crowned. We all are as human beings, by the way. It's not just, we all are. It's like, is she that short? I have seen her on TV. I thought she was petite and small. Gosh, she's huge. Like your brain can be dramatic, eh? It's a full cinema happening. It's a full premiere happening in your brain right now. But it's okay. So you understand, have the clarity of who your avatar is. You want to build a brand, right? That goes beyond your bedroom. That goes beyond your classmates. The moment you understand who your avatar is, and sometimes, by the way, you will even be so natural. When I started, no one took me through the models of understanding how to create a brand. I stumbled literally on everything. And so according to what I said and how I positioned myself, because I was like, I have to be authentic. That is the other thing. Your brand has to be authentic. You don't have to study anyone else and then you come and speak like them. You don't have to copy what they like and then you come and take it as your own. No. It's very possible that there are people that have amazed me. Some of my mentees have amazed me that someone can come and pay to do a course, and then all they want is to work with children. They came with a totally different, oh, I want to be a relationship coach. Oh, I want, because they see it's the one trending. Now, when they come and we go through the nitty-gritties of defining who their avatar is, they find that their purpose was born out of pain, and because it was born out of pain, they are still stuck in their childhood, and they want to speak to themselves when they were 5 years old. So now, everything they say and all their energy, if you give them a platform to speak, they will speak to a girl. They will speak to a girl who is a teenager and tell them your dreams matter. Because that is what they are passionate about. So they are not a relationship coach. No. Their avatar is that girl. Some people want to speak to parents because sometimes our purpose is born out of what the things that we have gone through. Okay? Now, we're not going to, because if we talk about all this, it will take too long. You have to find your purpose and what you're really passionate about. Because what you're passionate about is the foundation for your brand. Okay? Because you will dream it, you will sleep it, you will wake up and breathe it, as in it will saturate you. Some of you are here and you're fashionistas. You're not counselors, you're not psychologists, you're not social workers, you are fashionistas. Every time you go to downtown, you pick matching things, so your friend are also saying, unless so-and-so picks something for me, there is no way I'm going to put it on. So now you have become a consultant in a particular area, and then you're going to get so lost because I did psychology, so I have to go and speak to people, but every time you hold a microphone, your legs are like this. Huh? Every time you hold a microphone, you feel like words are not flowing. But maybe it's just not your thing. Some of you here are actually decorators. Yes, you're supposed to do, what is it called? Interior decoration. Some of you are interior designing. Some of you are so gifted. When you go to a place, you see curtains that are not matching, you see things that are not matching and everything else, and you can actually do it. And sometimes you find that in your family, they call you to do. Some of you here are chefs. Kulumbe, jangu. Birthday party, jangu. And by the way, you do it perfectly well, and toshe kanya. Because it's just inside of you. You just love cooking. And then you're here. God suffers with us. God, I want to build a brand. I want to speak to people. I want to throw a hand like this and everyone is falling or everyone is happy. Meanwhile, your calling is actually not to even be a public speaker. You're supposed to be cooking, and that is where your breakthrough is going to come from. Because if you misalign yourself and misposition yourself, breaking even is very hard.